What is going on, guys? Endo Yeet here, and welcome to the first episode of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, where we're going to be taking our team, which it won't show because I don't know why, but it's going to be called Holden Racing Team because I am Australian, love Holden. We're going to be taking them from pretty much near the bottom of the F1 constructor table, all the way to the top, and try and just win it and just play it out from there and upgrade everything and so on and so on. Yeah, here you go, Holden Racing Team. If you don't know who they are, they were a V8 supercar team, but however they been bought out by General Motors, which sad, no more production of their cars. But here, anyway, we're choosing our primary sponsor for the season. I'm just going for a look through them all, seeing which one gives us the best signing bonus, plus gold bonus, plus weekly income, but is also very achievable throughout the season, which is probably the best thing for the first thing in the season. In the first season, I think I'll choose Loop for this. 5.1 million signing bonus, plus just achieve 5-point finishes during a season. It's like we'll be upgrading quickly throughout the season, getting in the resource points and just upgrading everything as quick as we can. That'll just be a big booster to what we need to be doing, especially at later in the season when we should be jumping other constructors, other teams, and just getting the 5-point finishes necessary. And then we choose Loop. 4.25 gold bonus at the end of the season, plus 218,000 a week, which is brilliant. We're choosing our engine supplier. I'm definitely was never going to choose Ferrari. I don't have a million left from the signing bonus, plus yeah, we need to pick our second driver. I was sort of considering Mercedes, only 700,000 more than Renault, and I just want more reliability than Honda and more power, and it's fairly cheap. So I'm like, yeah, we'll go Renault. Here's our second driver selection. Yeah, I was very considering Mahiva Ragnathan, but after a hard decision, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be with the GOAT of Formula 2. He'll absolutely destroy, obviously, with those amazing stats. 27 experience, which means he'll get loads of resource points, obviously. And the pace 43, that's brilliant for what we need, definitely, in trying to achieve those 5-point finishes. To get that cheeky 4.25 mil, which is, yeah, like I said, it's going to be massive for what we need. I end up choosing Jordan King, even though his experience isn't the best for collecting resource points. 79 pace is brilliant, 66 racecraft is very good, and yeah, 1.5 million. Yeah, it's the top 3 higher ones from what we can choose from, but it's better than the other guys that are cheaper, because the pace stat's probably the most important from what I've seen and tested, because this is obviously post-com. There we go, confirm settings. I forgot to change the suit style, I believe, but yeah, I'm constantly playing this game, getting the new liveries, the suits and everything, so this is going to change. I do the car livery, and I've gone for red, black, gold and silver to try and replicate the Holden Racing Team car that was around a couple of years ago, but obviously they're now gone. But yeah, red, black, gold and silver. I don't really have much to choose from at this stage, but here's here, I'm just testing around to see what works best. Works best with the car. I went for a red base, which might cause some problems with Ferrari, but I think with the liveries that I've got, it'll be very easy to tell who's who. And I was seeing where the black goes, which I still don't really know, to be honest with you. Might just be an outline, but I can't really see. Yeah, it's an outline. Yeah, just an outline. So yeah, I'd rather have a white outline. But there we go. That is the finished product of the car. Red, mainly red, with a bit of black and a white outline on the black trims along the side pod of the chassis as well.
Now we need a badge for our team branding. Select an existing badge, edit it, or create one from scratch.
There we go. We got the finishing livery of the car,
Last but not least,
which,
we need to pick
in my
team
opinion,
colours
looks
for
very
the
good.
rest of our
But then
brand.
again, I have been
You'll see
changing it
colours throughout HQ.
as this is post-com, and yeah, we go black, little black, white outline, and then mainly red. Looks decent. Forget to do the suit as I said before. Yeah, we need to do the badge, which I've tried to go as close as I can to the Holden badge, which is a line, but there's no line in this, so I've just gone for the colours red. The colours red, and then black and gold, as you'll see here. Try to find like a circle, but yeah, I don't know why, but my game goes incredibly slow with this. Takes like bits to just load in everything. Yeah, we could go for the like guitar pick sort of shape, and just go and just be like, yep, and there we go. So we go for like the red, the arrows there, and then changing the colours up a bit to what I said, black and gold before. That's because like that's the main Holden like livery colours. Let's try and make it as much Holden as possible, and make it stand out, make it sort of unique if I can. I'm thinking about going to silver, but nah. There we go. That's the badge, finishing badge for the car. And yeah, that's doing final tweaks just in case I want to change the team colours up, but I think best for the thing is red, black, gold, and red, silver maybe. Depends on what the badge is looking like, I guess. No F1 team has that anyway, so it's best for
Great. That's everything we
a
need.
different type
You can
of
go back and edit anything we've done so far.
different colour to come into
Here at the start of
F1
each season. But
with this car.
ready to go,
There we go, we're done.
head to Team HQ and we can start our push to the top of Formula One.
So now I'm just showing you what I'm going to be using for this entire season. This first season, I'm going to be doing 50% races. I felt like doing 25, but it's just a little bit too short, in my opinion. I wanted to try and maximize tire length, tire life, and that. I was debating here whether it's 50 or 25. I'm gonna go 50. The difficulty will change over the season. I'm usually on the old F1 game. I was about 103, 104 difficulty. So it'll go up by about 10 in due course over this progression in this career mode. I'm just changing the assist to make sure I've got what I need to make it as difficult as I can on myself, but maintaining it easy, because I am on a controller, not a wheel, and I just can't just properly do gears and that. Then we go into the team headquarters. We go.
Okay, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hello folks, and welcome to the HQ of Formula One's newest team. We've been invited backstage to gain an exclusive insight into what could be one of the most exciting entries in the sport for many years. Now, we've seen a number of new teams enter the sport over the last decade, amongst their number Manor, Caterham, HRT, and of course Haas. And while some have proved to be successful, others have morphed into different teams, and some have disappeared completely. What marks this team out, though, as being something different is that its owner is also its driver. Now, there's a rich history of that in Formula One too. Sir Jack Brabham, John Surtees, Graham Hill, and Bruce McLaren all drove their own cars in the sport, but it has become increasingly rare in recent years. What's very special about this team, though, is that while the team itself is new to Formula One, so too is its driver and owner.
Whatever happens this season, you've already made the history books. Tell me, do you feel up to the mammoth task of both managing and driving for a Formula One team? Every team needs two drivers, but what was it that drew you to your teammates? No one aims to finish bottom of the table. Who's the team you're aiming to beat? How are you expecting the car to feel out on track? The other teams now have years of experience, both on and off the track. How are you planning to catch up to them? Overtaking is a key part of this sport. How have you ensured that your car can take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way? And finally, which of your new departments are you most proud of?
well, that's about all we've got time for here. We will see how this fledgling team fares in its first Grand Prix.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a wrap.
Great interview, boss. You nailed exactly what the team's been working on. When you've got time, check the R&D tree to see our current progress and where we think there's room for more. And while you're at it, why not take a stroll around HQ and check on how the team's doing? It's important to use the time between races to the fullest extent, and that's where these
So as you can see, we're just going through the main menu now of my team. Going for what old mate here has to say about each thing, because it's the first time we're doing it, and he's going to just keep giving us these little tutorial things, which is a bit annoying, but here we go. We've got the activities page, which is I reckon pretty important, because you can get additional bonuses in that and then upgrade and like get the driver statistics up. So that driver training camp, which gets +3 on all, which is really good, which is exactly what we need. You know, I'm just debating about what I can do. And yeah, we end up going with the driver training camp. That's all we can fit in for that. Which is a bit unfortunate, but it's probably the best thing there. The merchandise sales are fairly important in that. You just get added more bonus money, but no, the driver training camp will help Jordan King in becoming the better, or not the better, a better driver. Here we go, advancing time soon. Just checking out the facilities, everything. Getting old mate to talk to us again about everything. Just give us a rundown on what's to happen in that. Because I've got 900,000 left to spend, and just debating on what I want to upgrade first, and try and get more resource points in that everything will be all upgraded sooner rather than later. And I was checking out what the prices of everything are, but we can't get anything under 900,000, and it's just better to save money right now anyway, which is exactly what we're doing. Just checking out everything, all the departments, and yeah, we got spec 1 on aerodynamics, which is probably pretty important. Then we get to the R&D, which is very, very important in trying to get our car to the top with the Mercedes, Red Bulls, and Ferraris. I just wish that they had balanced that Ferrari out right now, because it is August now. We know that they're dreadful in real life, the midfield team. Verstappen winning the British 70th anniversary Grand Prix. It's probably the one anomaly this whole season that Mercedes won't win. But anyway, we're looking at the R&D tree, seeing what we can upgrade. 1,000 resource points we've been allocated already from the game. But I think aerodynamics and chassis are the most important. We chose the Renault engine, but we've already got a few upgrades on that, and we're above the other Renault powered teams. Yeah, we don't really upgrade anything now, but everything's gonna be before or after the Bahrain Grand Prix, depending on what we get. We're checking out the driver market just for future when we have to get a new driver or something, and seeing who's available, who's costing what, and the stats of everyone. Which, yeah, and there we go. We've moved on from the driver market to the team car reveal. Now we're checking out the R&D. Gonna actually upgrade stuff now. We're just having a look at it before, but now we've just had the car reveal. We've got 1,300 resource points, nearly 1,400, which is better because we got the weekly update of cash, resource points, and and also had the activity done for our driver to go up 3 stats for everything, which is really good. And we've got 820 left. Again, we just need to have the gearbox durability, because that, from previous experience on the F1 games, that just goes the quickest, and before Monaco, or at Monaco, it'll just explode. So when we get to Monaco, we might have a better time there, instead of having the gearbox fail and we just have a missing gear or something. We've got 1.08 mil to try and utilise, but there's nothing we can really upgrade that with. Getting more activities and try and see what we can do, see what's best for us as a team. We've gone with the preseason driver press tour just so Jordan King can get his acclaim up, and it boosts the team acclaim, and that, which is exactly what we need to get better drivers, and that, which is very important later on in the career mode. But then again, also, we've got more money and resource points coming in, the activities done. And I've stopped it there, just have a look at everything and see if there is anything more we can upgrade with the facilities or R&D, but resource points right now are pretty low, and they're coming in after the Australian Grand Prix in time for Bahrain, so, or maybe even after that, I'm not too sure, but it is time for the Australian Grand Prix, just doing tyre selection to see what works best. I wish we could customise this. That'd be very nice, because each F1 driver gets to pick whatever, like they could have one set of hards for the entire weekend, and like a couple mediums and hards as well. But yeah, we're just going through the tyre selection. Like I said, we still are. We're going to stay with the balance, because it's just hard to, like, if it's softer, you don't get like the mediums or whatever it is. I can't remember which. But anyway, we're into quali. Like what I was saying before, the harder, you just get way too many hards and mediums, and like you can't really do much with the tyres. But yeah, into qualifying we go now. So hopefully we get off to a good start as Holden Racing Team. We go, get through the cutscenes, blah blah blah. And here we go for our first ever qualifying session as Holden Racing Team. Quickly go through the setup, make sure everything's all good. We'll have to tweak it. We'll have to go into time trial, get a few setups, and see what works best around each track, I reckon, before coming to each race. But that's not really too much of an issue at this stage. Here we go, out for our first out lap in the car, and yeah, this is a big moment for this team coming in Formula 1, and out we go for our qualifying lap. Make sure that we're not wasting any fuel or ERS, because yeah, that's like not the important. That's like, we don't want to be wasting that at the moment. Here we're starting the flying lap. I'll just play this out, and yeah, bit of a corner cut there, but we'll track extend. I'll let it play out for the rest of this lap. go through a run through of the final lap that we have in qualifying. Onto lap 3, timer ticks over. We try and get the 5th there, and just make sure we don't lose the traction, lose the tyres and that. Coming up to turn 3, heavy braking zone. I think I could have turned in a little bit earlier. That's ruined a bit of the angles of both those two corners. This is my favourite track on the F1 calendar, as I am Australian. I love this track to bits. Take as much width as we can open, and then let it fly. Could have, because I'm on pad, it makes it harder. I reckon the steering and keeping it consistent and short little things. But anyway, we're closing up the 5/10 up on our previous lap. We're sitting P20 right now, which is nowhere near ideal, and we lose the back end a lot there, and that's cost us nearly 2/10. Anyway, we're going into the final sector now. We've somehow gained some time, and then losing it, and then gaining it, and then losing it. It's just, my consistency is not good in the slightest. Out the second last corner onto the final one, lift off a bit, and then going straight to the line to set a 1:22.6. And is it good enough? No. Here we go, in the qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix in our first race, this Holden racing team. And unfortunately for us, Jordan gets P11, which I don't know how he's pulled that out of the car and what setup he has, but yeah, we'll show you in a couple of seconds. Yeah, P11 for Jordan King in the first part of quali, and he gets through to Q2, but he didn't get to Q3. But that's going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and leave a like, and I'm out.